Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Larry Taylor, and this is the Unstuck Spirit Life Coaching. This is spiritual life coaching. By that, I mean that I believe that although everyone is not religious, in fact, a lot of people are irreligious or anti-religious, yet I also believe that everyone is spiritual, that there's a spiritual dimension to everyone. And so my task as a life coach, as a spiritual life coach, is to help you identify that frame of reference through which you are viewing the world, help you to identify the various threads that have come together to make up who you are, threads that came from acquaintances, family members, background, etc. Threads that have, for some reason, wound up kind of knotted. And we want to untie those knots so that you can be free to move on. I want to get you unstuck so that you can move on. But as you're considering life coaching, you might be asking yourself, well, that sounds an awful lot like something that maybe a chaplain could help me with. Now, I know chaplaincy. I am a board-certified chaplain as well as a board-certified life coach. And there are different kinds of chaplains. We think, for example, of military chaplains. The military branches all have chaplains. There are prison chaplains that, of course, work with incarcerated people. And there are hospital chaplains. My background is as a healthcare chaplain. I've worked in hospitals and also in hospice situations. And as a chaplain, my relationship with people is, or was, I should say, relatively short term. Normally, people aren't in the hospital for very long. Although you get to know some folks, particularly those with chronic illnesses, who keep coming back to the hospital. It's a little bit longer in some cases in hospice. Some people are in hospice for months, occasionally even years. And so in that context, you might have a slightly longer relationship with folks. And as a chaplain, you are coming with a loving, non-judgmental presence to meet people where they are in their spiritual beliefs and understandings. As a healthcare chaplain, you have to be multilingual. You have to be able to speak Baptist. You have to be able to speak Catholic. You have to be able to speak Jewish. You have to be able to speak Muslim and Buddhist and so forth. So as a chaplain, you meet people where they are and you seek to find the strengths in their religious belief system and help them to use those strengths to get through the particular crisis that they're in, the healthcare crisis, or in hospice situations, end of life. And their family members, not just those people. Also, as a healthcare chaplain, you're kind of watching out for the staff. As you make your rounds, you're paying attention to the facial expressions on nurses and physicians and respiratory therapists, and they're under tremendous stress, even more so during a global pandemic, of course. And so you're paying attention to that, and you become a listening ear, someone who can sympathize, and if they want, pray with them. So chaplaincy is extremely valuable. Spiritual life coaching uses a lot of those same techniques. I come to people non-judgmentally. I accept you as you are. I affirm you as you are. And I seek to understand where you're coming from spiritually. I seek to understand what's important to you and what your goals are. And I seek to help you understand how you've gotten kind of stuck in your this journey of life. And then help you get unstuck and move forward. So it's not necessarily a relationship that is centered around a crisis like it is with a healthcare chaplain, but it is a relationship instead that's centered around being set free and moving on and experiencing a glorious life, a life that I believe God created you to have. I hope that helps as you're considering life coaching.